Every week, Kendra watches a movie. What would you say?
I mean, it's called the Bad Movie Review. We could call it bad movies.
Yeah.
We could call it low budget films.
Sure.
We could call it cheeky films.
Yeah, Bad Movie Review. This week, you take advice. You can take now. If you have a suggestion for Kendra, get in touch with her. Let her know what movie you want her to review next. This week, I gave this one to you. I was excited about it. I'd asked about it, and I want you spit to the people.
Exactly. So I took AJ's recommendation, and I'm so glad I did, because for too many years, I have been looking. I've been seeing all of these movies.
Looking for what?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
It's called Building the Suspense, AJ.
Oh.
All these movies have portrayed fairies as these harmless little kind creatures.
Sorry, I had to get that one. Go ahead.
Yeah, echo even. Kind creatures. But now, a movie has come along that properly portrays the true dangers of the fairy realm, and that movie is Troll. Troll was the movie I reviewed this week. 1986.
Common internet cliche, though. You know, the troll is everywhere now. People use that word all the time. 1986, not so much.
Well, and when I looked up origins of the troll lore, internet troll was the second thing to pop up. So apparently internet trolls are pretty popular thing nowadays.
Back before the internet existed, it was Troll the original.
Exactly. Now, I would actually call this movie like a children's adventure horror film. I mean, I understand you got to watch this film when you were a kid, right?
Scared the crap out of me.
Okay.
What year did it come out?
1986.
Yeah, it was like 5. It was terrible. It was terrifying.
And how old do you think you were when you watched it?
Yeah, about that. About that. Five or six, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, yeah. That might be a little young. This was
this ball. Like every kid had this ball, this bouncy ball that you see right here in the picture. We all had that ball. We all had the crazy unfinished basement.
And the sister with long straight blonde hair, right?
Well, I did. Yeah, go ahead.
But so this movie came out in 1986. Sorry, I'm distracted by the ball now. You've got me thinking about the ball.
So explain what's happening here. She goes down in the basement. What's happening?
So basically, we join this Potter family, and that's the little girl, Wendy Ann Potter. And pretty quickly, she's attacked by the troll.
Okay.
So she's been abducted. She's gone. We, as the audience, know that she is gone, but her family does not know. So the troll is pretending to be little Wendy Ann.
Okay.
So we get to see the troll pretending to be her.
He stabs him? He stabs him with a needle? I remember that.
Ring.
Oh my God.
The ring. So what the troll is trying to do is he's trying to open up a fairy portal in the world in order to bring fairyland back to the real world, in order to like take over the world, right?
Okay.
And what he's doing is he's using each of these different apartments to open fairy portals. And so he's turning the people into like little fairies and things like nymphs and goblins and other trolls and elves.
Nice foliage. He turns them into the wilderness.
Well, and it does kind of follow a little bit of the fairy lore. Like I said, these fairy creatures are kind of mischievous. They do what they want. They don't really care what you want. They're going to do what they want, which kind of follows in with what is traditionally said in the old-timey folklore when it comes to these types of stories. So it kind of follows that spirit. Now, I would say that the advantages for this movie is that it's like the building has a really great array of characters, right?
Yeah.
So if do you remember any of the neighbors from the building?
No, I don't remember anything about this movie. No, I'm just listening to you.
Okay, so it has a ex-Marine.
Okay.
Is one of them. So he's a military guy. And then you've got the upstairs neighbor who's like the swinger, who's like not interested in kids being around because they're totally going to like...
Who's she? Who's this woman?
That is actually the fairy princess queen lady. Which is also what she goes by. Like the little boy quickly realizes that his sister is not his sister. Like he's the only one that's like, something is not right here.
Something's not right. Like, no, she's just normal.
Yeah, but he likes this old lady who's also in the building, and she's got all of this cool stuff in her apartment, so she's obviously a witch. And so she's helping him because the backstory is that the troll is actually her love from the medieval days.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they were in love, but he wanted to take over the world with the power, and so like she's a protector of the realm or something like that. So it's all very like fairy world versus human world, and you know, so the neighbors are really like have these really great characters. One of the neighbors is like these lovebird couple, and they get kind of turned into like this nymph character, which is actually kind of cool because you see her like running through the forest.
You're really breaking this down, huh?
Julia Louis-Dreyfus is actually the nymph
okay
type character you just saw.
I think I just saw her.
The negatives, there's a couple of negatives. One is, you know how like sometimes you'll go to carry something and it's not heavy, it's just like awkward to lift, right?
Yeah, she just lifted her brother across the room. Sorry.
And
yeah.
And that happens a couple of times where the movie has like this smaller character lifting this giant character and it just looks odd. It
Watch
looks
this right here.
funny.
She like throws her brother. Oh no, I missed it. Okay, never mind.
So that was one of the problems is like these smaller characters are throwing these larger characters around and it just looks weird. It doesn't mesh.
The fighting don't work too well. There you go. She's gonna throw her brother. Rah! Boom.
Yeah. Obviously he's like my baby sister's not my baby sister, guys.
Right.
And then the other thing that I had a problem with is like the entire movie, this older lady that Harry Potter Jr., because our main protagonist is actually the kid. This is why I call it a children's.
Okay, so he saves the day.
Yeah, this is really a children's adventure horror because it's the protagonist is a child.
Okay,
and you follow it from a child's point of view. But the older lady that he really likes and who's basically a badass. Also, like at one point he asks her, "What do you do?" And she responds, "Anything I damn well please." So,
you like that?
Yeah, I did.
That's women Kendra looks up to.
Yeah. So, but anyway, it's kind of ageist because she spends the entire movie as this elderly, very dignified looking lady. And then when she goes to battle the troll, she does a little bit of magic and becomes this younger, beautiful woman.
Actress? This one right here.
Yes, she becomes a younger woman.
That's no fair.
Exactly. Like if you're going to make the character be a badass older lady, just let her be a badass older lady.
Did she fight the troll with magic or physical power?
Well, that was also the lame part. He immediately like disarms her, so she immediately has to run away. So like she became this younger character only to immediately get disarmed
and then immediately spoiler alert action.
Yeah, I'm well into the spoilers this week, guys.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right.
So at this point, you know, it just doesn't feel like it didn't feel like it added a whole lot, and it made the character weaker, in my opinion. So I didn't really like that.
You know about the Harry Potter trolls? Do they have anything to do with those, like J.K. Rowling type trolls?
Well,
there's people trying to tie them together in chat, and I know you know the J.K. Rowling trolls pretty good.
Well, they're not quite the same types of trolls from what I can tell. Like this kind of troll is like an old wizard who like became corrupted from the evil and the power. Is like the lore that goes along with this troll. But in the other trolls, they're typically like the old-fashioned lore is that they're in the mountains and that they like work with stone and they might throw stones and they're cranky and they're not helpful. You know, Billy Goat's gruff. So those type of trolls is the traditional trolls. But...
From Empire Pictures, Troll. You know Empire Pictures, they're still around. No.
So, exactly. And there were no well-known names, I felt like, in this movie. I mean, this was directed by John Carl Bueller. It was written by Ed Naha. Michael Moriarty and Shelley Hack were some of the actresses in it. A movie that this reminded me of.
You ready to rate it?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to ratings. What did it remind you of?
It reminded me of Ernest Scared Stupid.
Okay, so this is the same costume person or no?
I did not check if it was the same costume person.
Dang, you have to get us for next week because you talked about that in that first one.
But it did very much a child's adventure horror movie. If your kid's interested in horror movie, this might be an okay one to get them started in.
Okay, perfect. Okay, we're on to the Starship Trooper rating, Kendra.
All right.
Do we have one Starship Trooper? Does it deserve a 1?
We have a Johnny Rico. Indeed we do. We have Johnny Rico.
Johnny Rico's there. Okay, do we have 2 Starship Troopers to Kendra? Oh, people want to know.
Yes, we have 2 Starship Troopers. Indeed, Troll gets 2 Starship Troopers as its score this week. That is our score.
You don't have to change your voice. I don't know why you're changing your voice. This is the way I talk. I'm the announcer.
That's the way I talk.
Okay. Do we have 3 Starship Troopers?
No 3 Starship Troopers. No.
Oh, denied.
Nope. Troll gets a Johnny Rico, Carmen Ibanez score this week. That's a 2 out of 5 Starship Troopers.
Johnny Rico and Carmen Ibanez. Very good.
Now, I would say that this was really brought down because it was a children's movie.
Damn it.
And it's not really a scary. It's not truly. It wasn't trying to be a bad horror, but 2 out of 5 Starship Troopers is what Troll got this week, and you can check it out if you want to. If you've got some kids, you're ready to expose them to the horror genre. This one scared
but it's worth your
AJ.
time. You watched it. You've been hearing about it for a while. Worth your time. I mean, you liked it, kind of, right?
I did like it. I did enjoy it in the fact that it was a children's film, that it followed kind of like fairy nostalgia of the old timey lore.